Hey everybody, Joel Norden here, and today we'll be checking out the top 10 songs of this week. Let's get into it. First, number 10, we have Shadow, I'm Breaking Down by Destroy Boys. Destroy Boys is a band from Sacramento, California, and this tune, I really like the overall vibe that they have. It's kind of this eerie 80s rock feel that they've been captured. The lyrics are catchy and at the same time have some nice depth there. It does get a little repetitive in areas, but no more than your normal song would. I personally like this and the overall vibe that they went for, and that's what landed it on number 10 for the week. Next we have Set the World on Fire by Nice to Eat You. Nice to Eat You is a Swiss band. Sounds to me like it's melodic metalcore is kind of where I would go here. The violin is the obvious feature here that pumped this son of a gun all the way up in here. Now, if you're not a metalcore fan, this might not do it for you. Those vocals are prime real estate metalcore. There's some nice vocal differentials going on there as well. Dig that. The degen elements really kind of blend nicely with those violins, and they have a nice mix here. My only complaint is it sounds a little flat. Just a little flat. I want that production to slap a little bit harder, but other than that, this is a good metalcore tune. The violin is a really, really nice touch of uniqueness. You guys heard it from me 1,000 times. Metalcore as a genre is starting to get really, really bland and generic. And it almost goes through these cycles of like every 2 to 3 years, one band will change something and all the other bands follow it. And then just keeps happening every few years. And it's just getting a little much. This is a really nice breath of fresh air. I appreciate that very much. Again, if the production was a little bit better, I think this would be farther up on my list, honestly. At number 8, we have A Christmas Ghost. Sweet Lizzy project. And I know I talk a lot of shit about Christmas music. I do enjoy Christmas music, the week of Christmas typically, but on this one I let it pass because I do like Sweet Lizzy project as a nice rock band, and they put together a really nice soft rock story here. Sweet Lizzy project is a Cuban-born, Nashville formed quintet, and like I said, they kind of do rock on the softer side, maybe indie or alternative as well. It kind of ranges somewhere in there. Now, I am very, very hard on Christmas music. I only listen to it for, like I said, a week of the year. I enjoy this overall vibe. I think it captures that time of the year very well. Kind of sometimes, Christmas isn't a bright and jolly place for everybody, that time of the year. And sometimes it has somber notes as people struggle with losing loved ones or remembering loved ones or just going through, depression or anything like that. And I think this song kind of encaptures that very well and tells a really nice story while laying out that vibe. Yeah, I dig it. And it also gets kudo points for being an original Christmas song, at least as far as I know. This is not a cover. That's my other issue with Christmas. Everybody covers the classics, and it just gets old, just to be frank. Number 7, we have Dante by Northlane. Northlane is a metalcore group from Sydney, Australia, and they were traditionally known for kind of mixing club beats up with screamo or that metalcore degen elements. However, in recent years, they've kind of come away from that a little bit and kind of lean more into the poppy side of things and basically mixing rock with EDM. And this is a prime example of that. Now, typically, I'm not a giant fan of their newer work, and I know a lot of people complain about bands that start extremely heavy and then work into this kind of style. However, I really liked the vibe here that they went with, and it kind of feels elevated. Like it elevates your spirit. though it still has some tension in there with the vocals, but this song is strictly vocal work. I mean, the guy's vocals just make this song work. He's hitting notes perfectly. It sounds really, really nice. It is a great EDM rock crossover. It has a good vibe. Now, I could see this getting old after a while, but as of right now, I'm really enjoying this. And I do, even if I don't personally like bands that go heavy to soft, I do appreciate the progression. And I never quite understood why bands never seem to go back and forth between those two. It almost seems like they start heavy and angry and then just kind of peter out to soft and never really go back to angry sometimes. I don't know. That's a random thought, but I don't think that'll be the case with Northlane. At least I could be wrong, but they've had some heavy tunes in the last like 5 years. So there's still hope that they'll go back to that. But at the same time, I enjoy the experimenting. So at number 6, we have Heart on My Sleeve by the K's. So that one is a little bit more mainstream than I typically would jam out to, but it really does have a nice flow. It has some great, I really like his accent as well. It definitely lends something to the song for me. I've not heard of the K's before, and I overall just really like the whole vibe of this song. I don't have anything I overtly love about it. They did really good with the melody. It's a soft rock tune. I believe they're alternative or indie, but this is definitely more on the mainstream side of that. But I dig this. Surprised myself a little bit, but this one's been stuck in my head. So this one, yeah, it makes number 6. Number 5, we have Storywriter by TRiOUT. I'm not fully sure where TRiOUT is from, as I couldn't really find any info on them. Their Spotify doesn't have a bio, and this is the only demo on their profile, titled Third Demo, and it has a few songs on it, which are also very solid. So if you enjoyed this one at all, you're definitely going to want to go check that out. I really enjoyed this style. There's a great melody to it. It's some nice Asian pop punk. I could see his vocals bothering people. They're a little nasally, but personally, I really enjoy that sound. I'm picky on it, but I do enjoy it when I find nice vocals that sound, I don't know, just fit well with the song or my personal taste. And this one does that. This makes number 5 on this week's top 10. Next, at number 4, we have Lion by Birds of Tokyo. Birds of Tokyo are an Australian contemporary rock band, and that is not normally a genre I go out seeking new tunes from, nor a genre that I listen to a whole lot, as I grew up on rock and just kind of got burned out of the same old sounds. Now, I see some nice influence here from maybe 80s pop rock, and maybe some other influences as well. The song has really nice ambience, though, and the chorus just flows really nicely. Catches you up, brings you right in. It's a mainstream tune, but damn it, is it good. It has a nice feel to it. Like I said, I love that ambience. The vocals sound really good, too. They help add to that overall feel. So this makes number 4, and I dig it. Next, we have Pedestal by Lime Cordiale. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but we're going Cordiale. Okay, Lime Cordiale is a pop rock group, and while I kind of struggled to get into them, I found a few in the last year that I really enjoyed by these guys. And this overall tune, the production is really nice, which I mean you're going to expect from pop, and the key here is not to go overtly generic on it, and I feel like they did a nice job avoiding that. About 40 seconds in, you have this complete change, and the aura of the song feels more daydreamy, more fantastical. It really, it's that daydreams part, and it really helps add another element to this song, almost kind of a trippy vibe here. And then it comes back to your more well-polished verses and choruses, and the chorus has a really nice capturing quality to it as well that you would expect from a pop tune. While I feel like this is very catchy and it has some nice vibes, it doesn't push that too far to come off as generic. It doesn't exactly come off as overproduced either. I think you could listen to this and say this is more produced or more poppy than I would prefer, and I get that. But I think if we're talking pop music on the scale of overproduced and generic, this is on the latter, the end that's not overtly produced. It's balanced, I guess is what I'm getting at here, guys. Number 2, we got Ancient Pistol by Iron Chic, and this is a bop. The other tune, they did a cover of Depeche Mode, and that is fantastic as well. I never even heard that Depeche Mode song. Chat had to alert me, so apparently I'm missing out on some things, but they thought it was a really nice cover, so you're probably going to want to go check that out if you enjoy this at all. Iron Chic is a band from Long Island. I would say punk rock here. Definitely more on the rock end of things with some nice punk elements drizzled in. But that being said, when I was looking into the band and trying to understand a little bit more about, which I do with each band in the top 10, I did see they have a very well-known DIY ethic that with their music, that they put a lot of it together themselves, and that is fantastic. It gets bonus points for me as well. This has a really nice flow. There's some nice punk elements just with the group vocals and just kind of the schematics of the song, or the scheme of the song. It just works together really well. This is not anything hardcore punk by any means, and it is very catchy and melodic, but beautiful. The lyrics are fantastic. I enjoy the overall sound here, and that is why it is at number 2. Guys, at number 1, we have Memory Lane by Zara Larsson. Zara is a Swedish pop singer, and while I do think this top 10 is a little bit more mainstream than I prefer, I've been following Zara since Lush Life, and I really, really appreciate not only the sound here and kind of the dark anthem. It's kind of it's like dark or brooding anthem that the instrumental provides here, but the writing, I love. You could just feel the personal writing, like the story there. And I relate to this a lot. So I think this is why this song is at number 1. The kind of sneaking out and partying and not really struggling to find your own identity, and then making mistakes through the partying and trying to find yourself, and kind of learning from your own mistakes and recalling those times that you fell to maybe your lowest, or you made these mistakes at the time that seemed monumental, but now you realize they were great learning lessons and or lessons to be learned. And I really appreciate that. And this kind of brought me down that frame of mind while being like, I'm proud of who I am now. And all those mistakes were worth it as long as I learned from those. And you're not going to learn from every mistake. That's human nature. But some of them were well, fought learning battles. So that is why this song makes number 1 for me. And it's just, her voice is really nice as well. And it just in general, that overall anthem that they have instrumentally was solid, but the personal writing really brought me down. Like, I fucking love it, guys. I love it. Number 1, hell yeah. Now, if you guys enjoyed this and you want to check out music with me live, you can check out my Twitch channel, which is Pyroslayer 92. And that's in the description as well. Click that, hit follow. Make sure you guys join me every Friday as I check out new music. Until next time, y'all. Peace the fuck out.